Ashe, God folks. This is Queen Bree. I hope that you are well and doing you in the most bona fide way you know how. So in this upload, I want to talk to the divine feminines, or even if you are, woman, female, and you have that divine masculine energy to you as well. You deserve this type of message too. And anybody that may need it. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I had the women in mind, or my sisters in mind, when I decided that I wanted to share my thoughts or tips for self-care for my sisters. So one thing that I know that a lot of women like to do is they love to wine. They love to have their wine. During the decompressing and the unwinding from your day, reaching for a cocktail, or more popular, sipping wine, having your wine is one thing. Some things that I feel will assist in creating a serene, peaceful, calm atmosphere is like different things that smell good. If you're anything like me, I love pretty things. I love things that smell good. As I have grown and I have evolved into the woman that I am today, current day, I have cultivated an atmosphere where I like to call my spot or my home my sanctuary. And it's because I have cultivated an environment that is peaceful. It is calm and it is peaceful. And sometimes you need that, especially if you were exposed to certain environments. If you grew up in a certain type of way, and if you were exposed to certain things, some people may know, and some people may not, but I will share this. I actually have a background in law enforcement. So I have had my share of chaos. I have chased chaos. I have chased danger. I have obviously been in the center of chaos. I have dealt with the challenging people of society. I have dealt with people that were extremely mentally ill, deranged, those that were on heavy drugs, controlled substances, those that have alcohol abuse issues, drug abuse issues. Fentanyl is such a big and a common one in today's time. Back before I was born, it was heroin, and then there was the crack era, and then it's always something. And there's the opiate epidemic in the United States and all over the world, and fentanyl is one of them. I have seen some of the most chaotic, disturbing things that has come into my my auric field or my senses. I have dealt with things like situations such as, runaways, to dead bodies, to, shots fired, resuscitating multiple people on duty in one shift. In my background experience, I've dealt with situations of contacting and dealing with people who were victims of SA. So a lot of things, the child abuse, you name it. And when it comes to, I'm going to get back to the tips for self-care, but since I'm talking about it and I have my mind on it, when it comes to first responders, I have a lot of respect for them, because when you know the statistics and you know what they go through, it's a lot, and a lot of times they don't really talk about it. They don't talk about the things that they go through. And if they do talk about it, they might talk about it amongst their small community of their fellow associates and those that are like-minded in their profession. But a lot of first responders are they have statistically they have a low life expectancy. So it's really good for people that are first responders or ex-first responders, or even work side by side in those in that capacity and in those conditions, to give themselves extra love, to love on themselves a lot more, especially like as I said, considering what I've done and what I've been exposed to. So I have learned to cultivate a certain type of atmosphere and a certain type of environment. And, one thing that is good to consider is, saying no when you're considering what's good for your nervous system and what makes you feel good. So back to what I was saying as far as what I like, what I found that works for me, because I love pretty things and I love things that smell good. Lighting a candle or some incense is a good one. Burning sage to clear energy. Burning different herbs to either ward off bad energy or to create a peaceful, serene environment. My bad, y'all. Please forgive me. I have a bougie ass dog. So some incense, sage, Palo Santo is a good one. Tuning your environment to a certain type of atmosphere when trying to cultivate a certain type of atmosphere. So those that are in the spiritual community or consider themselves spiritual like to use tools, musical tools such as cymbals, chimes, singing bowls. I have a guitar. I love my singing bowl. The guitar and the saxophone are my favorite instruments. But yeah, like using cymbals and singing bowls to cultivate a certain type of environment to tune the energy and frequency to something that you want, more specifically something that is more peaceful and serene. I also found that using a diffuser or a oil burner is a good one when using certain essential oils like chamomile or sage, or there's different ones. Lavender smells really good. Different essential oils to cultivate a certain type of atmosphere, and it's always good for making your environment and a place smell good. Spiritual baths is a good one. So there's a lot of content online that has tips for creating a spiritual bath. Cleansing your energy is always good, especially considering, you get off or you are decompressing from your day, unwinding from your day. Taking spiritual baths is really important, actually, and it's really a good one. My apologies for the second time, y'all. It seems as though something may not want this message to get out, this message of love. And, I didn't have I don't normally have any other issues or interferences or even distractions when trying to make other videos. But here I am trying to, send this message of love out. And then, I have a cute little puppy, but you know, he's a bougie ass little puppy, and it kind of reminds me of when my daughter was when she was a baby, when she was little. It was like, you know, high demand and commanding things. You know, she the boss, right? Because you know you the baby, and you know you gotta tend to the baby. Kind of like that. It reminds me of that. But anyway, back to what I was saying as far as the spiritual baths. Considering, you know, the spiritual baths and cleansing energy, clearing your energy, unwinding, and when you do a spiritual bath, you know, submerging yourself in water, and you know, sometimes you can even light candles during that too. Real feel good, real feel good thing, and you will be able to tell how your energy and your frequency just change, and how you feel so relaxed and just so at peace and things. So it's very very important and a very useful tool, especially when we're considering, you know, the energy of others, where, you know, it considering your energy and whether the energy that you carry, did it come from someone else, or is it your energy, right? That's a big one, because sometimes we're carrying energy that wasn't even ours to begin with, right? A lot of times we're carrying or harboring the energy of other people's projections and the things that they project, right? And, you know, considering what people do in their day-to-day lives as far as their profession, or you know, their interactions when they frequent certain businesses, you know, when they patronize certain individuals, these engagements and their interactions, right? And, you know, it's unfortunate that, you know, there's a lot of people that walk around aimlessly, mindlessly, and on autopilot, not considering how their energy affects other people, the things that they say and the things that they do. And don't get me wrong, we're all human, so we have our good and we have our bad days, right? But, you know, it's very important that we remember to consider that, you know, sometimes our energy is, you know, it could be our auric field. All of those things can be compromised by other people and the things that they're projecting as well. So spiritual baths, you know, doing things that make you happy, that make you excited, to make you smile, to make your soul feel good. Even if that's, you know, twerking in private, if you twerking alone, if you twerking in your kitchen, right? Traveling, if you're anything like me, travel, like take trips for a therapeutic supplementation of your peace. Taking trips for therapy, you know, traveling and taking trips as a means of therapy. Singing in the shower, right? If you like to sing, if you're like me, if you like to sing in the shower, if you like to sing in your car, yeah, I absolutely, I love to sing, and I have concerts in the shower. I have concerts in the car. So, and I love that. I love R&B music, 90s, old school. I love that vibe. Love songs, all of that. Just feel good music. It really does something to the soul, and that's my vibe. I love that. Journaling, getting your thoughts out on paper. You know, a lot of people, they downplay and undermine the usefulness of journaling. Getting your thoughts out on paper. If you need to vent, if you need to get the negativity, the toxicity, or the darkness that may be in your mind, you need to get that out on paper and, you know, get it all out, and you can later crumble that up. You can burn it, you know. You can write out your vision in journaling. Write out your goals and aspirations. You know, if you need to decompress from your day, you know, writing your affirmations. There's just so many things that journaling can help you with, and it's such a useful tool. I said journaling, Changing your hair. Changing your hair is a good one. Going to the spa, and all in all, just remembering to take care of your body. So, we're continuing to be mindful of what we're taking in, right? Excuse me, what we're taking into our eyes, what we're taking into our ears, and what we are letting, marinate, fester, or, the things that we're thinking about. Being mindful of the things that we're taking in. Is it making us feel good, or is it making us feel bad? So, yeah, taking care of yourself, taking care of your body the best way you know how. God is love, and if you can't take God with you, don't go. Wholeness and ashe.